You might think that I'm smoking some serious crack around here, but this Ridgeline for this tarp shelter is put up not using a single knot. I'm gonna show you how to do it coming up. If we're gonna tie up a Ridgeline using some paracord without using a single knot. There's not a knot in here right now. There's not gonna be a knot in this thing when it's all said and done. And if you think it's not strong, I mean, come on now. Come on, come on, come on. Thing's strong as a whip. Hey friends, as always, man, I'm stoked to see you. So you might think that I'm smoking some crack or that I'm trying to blow some smoke up where the sun don't shine, but I'm telling you the truth, man. We're gonna take this piece of paracord and we're gonna tie up a Ridgeline between a couple trees out here. And I'm not going to use a single knot, not a single knot. Now, why do I want to do that? Now, I could normally, you know, maybe just you have an end of line bowline and then run around with a couple different knots. But, you know, truth be told, I want to be able to use this piece of paracord, which is about 30 feet. And I'll tell you why it's that long here in a second. But I want to be able to use this piece of paracord for any project that I may have, whether it's running a Ridgeline or doing anything else, right? And once I start putting in knots, I may not be able to get those knots out, especially if I get a lot of tension pulled on it. If you can't get a knot out, then you're left using some scissors, a knife, right? And that's no bueno. So we want to be able to not use any knots, be able to get things strung up in place pretty quick and efficiently, get it redeployed, get it back in our pack so that we can move on and get out of here, right? So 30 feet piece of paracord is going to enable me, my tarp is 10 feet long that I use. So it's going to enable me to have 10 feet on either side, which is going to be more than enough to get around most larger tree diameters, right, if we have them, or if I'm not here in this particular spot, I got a pretty decent little area right here, which is only about 12 feet between these two trees. But if I need to go around a larger tree, or if I needed to go a little bit further, you know, I'll be able to do that with having a little bit longer. And this obviously doesn't take up that much space, right? Doesn't take up that much space. So let's get this thing going. I tie from this tree here to this tree, and we'll start going around this one first, right? And so I'm just gonna take off my paracord and we'll get this thing here going. Now when I start coming around this tree, right, you're thinking, hey, you have to tie a knot around the tree in order to keep this thing secured. And truth is told, you don't have to. But it is a little play on words, a little semantics, but words mean things, right? So I'm not gonna be tying any knots. I'm gonna tie a couple hitches, right? That's all we're gonna do. So I'm gonna start off here. We're gonna tie a marlin spike hitch. We're gonna do that by taking the rope, we're gonna take from our right hand and just cross it over, making a loop, and then pinching that with our right hand, right? And from here, we're gonna take this and we're gonna lay it back down on top of the rope and then pull up and towards the direction that we're trying to tie to, right? Make sense? To let it loose, boom, undo it again. We'll show you that, how to do it one more time. Again, we take rope from our right hand, we make a loop by just rolling it over, just like as such. Taking that entire thing and lay it down on top of the rope, and then pulling away from where we're tying from towards the direction that we're tying to, right? Right now that I have this hitch in place, I can reach around and instead of running like the entire cord through it, which would be just a pain in the butt, right? To go all the way through, and then when you're done, you gotta take it all the way back on through. I think you get the point of how much of a pain in the butt that can be. What we're gonna do here is take a peg. We're gonna run the rope through the peg, or through the loop, and we're gonna stick the peg into the loop, right? Now I can pull on this all day long, and she ain't going nowhere, right? And so we're gonna take the rope that's in our left hand, and we're gonna bring it through the loop that we made with the marlin spike hitch. And once we do pull just a little bit through, now we have a loop. I can take my peg and run it through that loop and cinch it up nice and tight, and again, she's not going anywhere. Now we come over to Other tree, we can do the exact same thing. So I'm going to take and make a marlin spike hitch. Always working in the direction towards where we're pulling tension against. It's very important. And take our rope, run it around. So I'm going to bring it all the way through. Make it nice and tight. Now here, most of the time, people are going to tie what's called a trucker's hitch or a trucker's knot. It's a hitch, but what it is, it's a half hitch that's placed in, and then we don't pull the whole thing through, so we can, let it loose. And it doesn't matter how far away you are from the tree, depending on what you're using for your tarp system, but you need enough space so that you can pull your tension towards it. So again, just make a marlin spike hitch. Again, always working from our base tree, which is to my right, your left, towards the tree that we're going to anchor again to. Take a rope around the tree, bring it through, and now here we can tighten this up, right? You've probably done this a time or two. The problem is, if I let go, or if I lose some tension on it, it becomes loose. So I'm going to show you a trick on how to keep that from happening to you. And so you can see we've come through once. Now what I want you to do is bring the whole thing through again. Now, when I go to tighten this, you're going to see how it's going to roll over, and that rolling over is going to help bind it up. Now I can let go, and I'm not going to lose any of that tension, right? Didn't lose any of the tension. And so we can crank on this, and I can let go, and I'm not going to lose any tension. Again, for safety, I can bring a half hitch through, take another peg through that loop, bring up my slack, and this is not going to go anywhere. Keep from stepping on that. I can just coil it up, hang it on my peg, and we're good to go, right? This thing is nice and tight, man. She ain't going nowhere, right? She is not going anywhere. You can hang up a tarp with whatever configuration that you want to using this setup and have the confidence that you're going to be taken care of. All right, friends, so there you go. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about this particular Ridgeline configuration, and do a couple things. Let me know what you think about this one. Let me know what you use. Let me know what kind of improvements you think that we can make to this particular setup. That way we can continue to master our craft and develop our tactical virtue. Man, that's what this channel is all about. So consider sharing this video out with somebody that you think could use this Ridgeline in their life the next time that they move out into the wilderness. Man, I appreciate all you guys, man. You stay out there, you keep grinding, and you stay stoked.
And all of these marlin spike hitches come right apart. Boom. There you go.